Good morning and welcome to the Dumpster Fire 4.0, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. That was All the Good Girls Go to Hell by Billie Eilish. And before anybody asks, I did not put in that in the rotation before the show started.
Unfortunately, I can verify this. I'm still blaming him, though.
Yes, I am Josh. We have Janice here. We should have other special guests joining us on the show later on today. But happy Tuesday. We are here. Happy Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 release day.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I already went nuts. Like this morning, I already tweeted out about it. I posted an Instagram story about it. Yeah, no, I went nuts.
Did not hesitate.
No, I even updated my Discord status.
Oh, you did. What's your Discord status now?
So I was torn. At first, I was thinking of just putting What a Thrill.
Bruh.
But then I was like, wait, I already did that on Twitter. I got to change it up. So instead, on my Discord, I put my status as, Boss, can you hear me? Boss!
Nah. I would have done, you're pretty good.
That's a good one, too. I just went for, like, one of the more recognizable ones. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'll just go with that one, because everybody knows that line.
No. Everyone knows this quote. Metal Gear.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's a little too on the nose. I like mine.
Saying Metal Gear.
I like mine though. But anywho's, it has been quite the weekend. We have plenty of lots to talk over. Somehow the Broncos pulled it off. We beat the Packers.
It feels good to actually win.
It feels good to actually win. Yes, I know we were celebrating like crazy, but I mean, a win's a win right now.
A win's a win, and the Raiders lost to the Bears.
Which was funny. Everybody's losing to Josh McDaniels right now. It's a really bizarre cycle. It makes no sense.
This NFL season makes no sense.
It
Eagles
doesn't.
Losing to the. I'm still confused on that.
I'm still confused by a lot of things right now. Even last night, the Monday night game was so crazy. Like, the 49ers are mounting a comeback, and then Brock Purdy throws an interception at the worst possible time and gives the Vikings the win.
This season has been weird.
It is a weird season. But also, too, especially for those of us here in Colorado, there's plenty to celebrate. The NBA season begins today. The Nuggets are doing their celebration where they get their ring since they won the championship last year. They're also raising the championship banner tonight.
Isn't all that happening in front of LeBron?
It is all happening in front of LaFlop. So, yes, I am extremely excited.
And I just need to see his face.
Oh, you know the camera's going to be on his face.
Yeah.
That's just a given.
Just like how the NFL can't keep the camera away from Taylor Swift anytime she shows up.
I was going to say, speaking of that, guess what? This weekend might be more Taylor Swift mania in Denver because the Chiefs are taking on the Broncos this Sunday, and it's at Mile High. So there is a very high probability that she's going to be there. But that may be a good thing, just like the previous Thursday night game. Because then at least the camera's focused on her and not on us getting, mercilessly destroyed. Because it is now a proven fact. It is statistically proven now that Travis Kelce plays significantly better when she's at the games.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's if Taylor shows up, there's a good chance we're probably going to get eviscerated.
We losing. We are not beating the Chiefs. Even before Taylor started showing up, we were still losing those games.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the longest. I think it's one of the longest streaks in the NFL. It's like, 16 games straight? 16 consecutive games?
Something like that. It's depressing.
It hurts. It really hurts.
I am a diehard Bronco fan, but there's only so much pain you can take as a fan.
It does hurt. But we'll see what happens there. I mean, at least we got the Nuggets to cheer for. The Avalanche are doing amazing, which I'm super happy about.
Yeah, at least we got other teams to root for.
I was gonna say baseball has also been like a thriller. Like, I normally don't watch a lot of regular season games, but baseball playoffs are just something else. And I've been having a ton of fun watching those.
The Rockies still suck though.
I mean, the Rockies, they're the Rockies. Actually, I was watching a video the other day, actually going into depth about that 2007 season when we made it to the World Series.
And then choked.
Yeah. But also the funny part is no team really got anything out of that World Series. Like, I mean, for us, like being Rockies fans, we got, a thrill because it was like, oh my gosh, our team made it to the World Series. But for the Red Sox that swept us, ironically enough, that particular Red Sox team wasn't actually all that impressive either.
It was just another day for them.
How do I say this? It wasn't even like a question of another day for them. the roster in 2004, the one that had that thrilling comeback series against the Yankees when they came back from a 3-game deficit to beat the Yankees, and then they went and they won the World Series. In terms of like player talent, that was a very stacked team. The 2007 team wasn't all that stacked. They just basically got luck. They basically just got lucky at the right time and managed to get into the World Series, but they had some experienced players, whereas the Rockies didn't have any players that had even been to, the playoffs, let alone the World Series, so they just steamrolled us. But other than that, it wasn't a very impressive team, so to speak.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It would have been like, for example, like let's say the 2013 Nuggets going to the finals. It would have been pure luck because that team, we had like hardly anybody on that roster because this is before Joker. This is before Jamal Murray. This is before anything. It was in those weird years where Melo was already gone and we were just like kind of in a holding pattern until finally, we got Jokic and Murray and everybody. But other than that, it's been a crazy time. We'll have plenty to talk about later on in the show. We will go ahead and let it get back to the music here on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. What a thrill! We are back on the Dumpster Fire 4.0, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. I am Josh, still here with Janice.
I'm going to just act like you didn't start the segment with that.
But I did.
But I'm going to act like it didn't happen.
But it did happen.
Okay.
And we are going to embrace wholeheartedly that it happened because it is a great day.
I know it's Metal Gear Day, but can you please quote another Metal Gear game besides 3?
But it's the beginning of the story.
But there's also, Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 1 that you could quote.
True.
You got 2 other games you could quote.
True. True. But anywho's, I digress. It's still a crazy day. This weekend didn't really do a whole lot. Sunday, my parents and I did actually end up going to go see Killers of the Flower Moon, which was it was really, really good. However, I already told you about this the other day, but we had already quite a bizarre experience while watching Killers of the Flower Moon, where like a hole in the multiverse almost tore. So here we go for context, and this is spoiler free, I promise you. We went to the Cinemark here in town to watch Killers of the Flower Moon. Theater 1 and 2 are right next to each other. They had Killers of the Flower Moon inside of theater number 2. That's where we were. They were showing the Eras Tour in theater number 1. However, keep in mind, Killers of the Flower Moon, and I promise you, this is not a spoiler, there's a lot of dialogue. It's a lot of dialogue with an occasional action moment. And not even really action, it's more just like a crime takes place because it's all about crimes. And that's about as far as I'll go. In Theater 1, they had the sound cranked up for the Eras Tour so high that all of the sound was bleeding into Theater number 2, and you could really hear it because most of Killers of the Flower Moon is just dialogue. And it made for some very weird combinations of scenes.
Like serious dialogue.
So
in the background.
So here's one of them. A character is trying to rob a store. They get shotgun blast. The guy's still laying there on the floor. The chorus to Shake It Off is playing while this guy is laying on the floor. So it's just like the guy's just laying there and just shake it off. And I'm like, what is going on? So like those scenes are now like forever intertwined in my head.
Hold on. So now, like, when the movie comes out on like streaming platforms, you're gonna expect to hear "Shake It Off."
I'm gonna, whenever Killers of the Flower Moon makes it on Apple TV Plus, I'm going to have to actually just like rewatch it because my brain forever has like these two things like interconnected, so I have to like separate them now. And then later on in the movie, there's a very tense interrogation scene. And during a quieter moment, while, a character is trying to figure out what to say, the chorus of "We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together" is playing. So this very tense interrogation scene is happening, and just "We are never, ever, ever getting back together."
Okay,
and
I'd honestly never want to hear you sing Taylor Swift songs again.
Well, obviously you can tell I don't have her voice. But it just made for...
You don't have it, the voice.
It just made for a very, very sort of just like bizarre experience. Because, because both movies started about 15 minutes apart. So it was, and the Eras Tour is about 3 hours and like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon is about 3 hours and 26 minutes. So because of the times, they basically were both going at like the same time. So this is happening for the whole movie. So my brain like just has like both things just spliced together. And I already said, like, I'm going to have to, like, watch Killers of the Flower Moon once it hits Apple TV Plus, because they did say once it's done in theaters, it will make its way on there. I'm going to have to rewatch it again just to see if I can separate the two things.
I do need to see that movie because it actually looks really good.
It is really good. Just, be ready to sit there for a while. Because it is very, very long.
Josh, you know me. What else do I have going on in my life?
No, that's true. That is true.
I'm a very boring person.
I wasn't gonna crack a joke.
Go ahead, say it.
No, I was gonna say I might still be more boring.
I mean, you go and see movies. I don't.
True. But
so,
it was.
I'm more boring than you.
It was just a very weird situation. And as I'm leaving the theater, my dad was like, "What was all that thumping?" Because you could hear, the bass and everything and the music coming from Theater 1. And then, like, we're taking my mom, like, out of the theater. We're, like, going through the front door. And they had the poster for the Eras Tour. And I'm like, that was the noise that you were hearing.
See that right there?
Yep.
That's what's causing the loud noise.
That was causing all the loud noise. And it was just such a really, I was going to say, I think it's just stuck in my head.
Hey, you had a unique experience.
I did.
And you lived to tell the tale.
I had a unique experience. I lived to tell the tale, and then the second I get out of the theater, I decided to check my phone. I'm like, oh, hey, the Broncos won. Yay. So,
unfortunately, I did not watch the game.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I didn't watch the game. Well, I mean, obviously, no, I was watching the movie.
Yeah, you had more interesting things to do.
Yeah, I mean, normally, like, I usually... How do I say this? We had to find an earlier time to watch the movie just because of how long it was.
Yeah, like if you went to go see it, late.
Well, I mean, if it was like a 2-hour movie, it would have been different.
Yeah.
But with it being 3.5 hours, it was like, whoa, dang. Like, hold on there, buckaroo. However, I do see here, looks like throughout the campus, we are getting posters out and about to promote this coming Friday. Thank you. We have the Monster Mash costume dance this Friday from 7 to 11 p.m. inside of the Student Commons. Come dance the night away. This event proudly welcomes all ages, shapes, sizes, colors, and flavors. We will have a costume contest, snacks, games, and more. Also, music provided by yours truly.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, who's doing the music?
Yeah, no, that'd be me. I was going to say, I love the design on this... on these flyers that we came up with, just because it's such a blend of everything. I mean, we have a disco ball, we have a hand holding it, the classic, Halloween font. We have the Barbie font in there because Barbie is a cultural phenomenon and it continues to be. So, of course, I'm going to love it. I was going to say, I'm going to have to keep one of these for myself because I like to keep them. Thank you. Whoa, excuse me there.
I heard that.
No one did.
I did.
No one did.
And I'm pretty sure you're recording.
Oh, well. We'll edit it out in post. But anywho's, we will go ahead and let it get back to the music here on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. Also, another thing that I did mention, that I did forget to mention. Happy 1989 Taylor's Version release week. But who's counting down the days?
You are.
Am I, though?
Yes, you are.
Am I?
That's how you knew.
Yeah. So, speaking of 1989, we will let it go back to the music with a couple of tracks from 1989.
Of course.
Here on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. And I'll write your name as well. Welcome back to the Dumpster Fire 4.0, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. I am Josh, and this show is getting increasingly unhinged today.
Yeah, I'm Janice. I'm still here. I'm just confused on what I just witnessed.
Yes, I mean, I totally... Yeah, I went there.
For context, he was also singing the song in here.
I kind of was. This show is just getting increasingly unhinged today, folks. It's just an unhinged week.
Well, you haven't even drank your tour water yet.
I haven't even drank my tour water yet.
And you're already unhinged. I'm scared what's going to happen after you drink the tour water.
Yeah, you know,
because
you're right.
Let alone
you're
there's
right
an
about
event
that.
tonight.
Yeah, no, we do have an event tonight. As to whether I'll be there for that event,
The world may never know.
it's like a Tootsie Pop. But anywho's, it's just a very unhinged show today, folks. But anywho's, we actually do have other things to talk about, such as Spider-Man 2 finally came out this weekend, set a sales record for Sony, the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive game ever.
Yeah.
2.5 million copies within the first 24 hours, which is a staggering amount for a $70 video game. Like, if we multiply that, I'm actually pulling out my calculator right now on my phone. Now, granted, yes, there were the collector's editions and yada, yada, yada. So, you know, the number might be off a little bit, but anywho's, here we go.
Just do if everyone bought the basic version of the game.
Fine. So I'm going to do $70 a copy, multiply that by 2.5 million. That is $175 million in sales.
Around that area.
Which is pretty sweet. And that was just the first day. That's not counting, Saturday, Sunday, including, today, whatever's been sold today.
Yeah, or even yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So that number's bound to be higher. Still, the record has to be eclipsed. GTA 5 still has the record because it made $1 billion in sales in one day, but that makes sense because it was GTA 5, and that was literally the biggest thing in the gaming industry.
If GTA 6 ever comes out.
Oh, no, it looks like it's going to come out.
In our lifetime.
It looks like it is going to. It looks like we may be finally getting close to hearing something about the game. Earlier this morning, people that follow Rockstar's, company pages, they actually saw that there is a video that was just uploaded this morning to YouTube. However, it was set to private. And a lot of times when companies are about to reveal a game or everything, just so that way they don't have any issues when it comes to the actual upload, they'll upload it ahead of time and they'll set it to private until the time comes for them to do a premiere event for that trailer, or they release it and then it's public. And the big rumor is, either this month, next month, or at the Game Awards, we'll finally hear see something about GTA 6.
That's every year.
But this, how do I say this? This year is when we have the most likelihood.
They say that again every year.
True. However, the reason I'm feeling more confident about it this year, I'm not going to hedge any bets on it because no, that's crazy.
No.
But the reason I feel more confident about it now is
Rockstar is also working on another game. For the people that don't know, they're also working on another Midnight Club, which they revealed a couple years ago.
True.
So it could just be more stuff on the new Midnight Club game.
It could be, but I mean, how do I say this? I think it has to be GTA related just because...
I'm being a realist here.
I mean, it could be Midnight Club, which would be cool, but also, too, with GTA, the reason I'm saying I think we have a chance this time is just because these new consoles have been out for a couple of years now. Rockstar knows how to use the hardware. So
whatever it is, it's going to be probably a new title.
Could be.
No, it could be Bully 2, probably not.
No.
Or it just could be an all-new game that no one's ever heard of because Rockstar's weird.
I mean, how do I say this? Rockstar, they're so big and so recognized that they are one of those companies that can just literally do what they want.
Yeah, so whatever it is, they're cooking something. We don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm. We do know that there is more coming up because they are working with Remedy to remake Max Payne 1 and 2.
Ooh.
We haven't heard any updates on that yet other than the fact that, I think it was last year or the year before that they announced that they were working on it. So we'll see how that goes because the original Max Payne 1 and 2 are still really good. They still hold up pretty well, honestly.
Just dated control scheme.
Yeah, the control scheme, especially 1 and 2, is pretty dated. The inverted controls for when you're shooting, and then you have no option to change it in the menus, so you have to kind of get used to it. 3 had the GTA shooting controls because by that point Rockstar had the rights to the franchise, so they just ported over the shooting controls and the cover system from GTA into Max Payne, and those feel great. It's the same shooting system that they've had forever, and it just plays really good. I would personally love to see if they did a bundle with all 3, just because Max Payne 3, it is backwards compatible on Xbox, but not on PlayStation. like they re-released the original Max Payne 1 and 2 on PlayStation, but not 3. So personally, I would love to see if they, even if they did kind of like what they did with Red Dead, where they just like kind of cleaned it up, because graphically it actually still looks really good for being a 12-year-old game. So personally, I hope that they do the bundle that they do. Max Payne 1 and 2, obviously those are going to be, the shining pieces of that collection, because they're going to release them together.
Yeah.
But then if they just threw in like an upscaled version of 3, like I'd be happy.
And I actually remember. Do you remember the collector's edition for Max Payne 3?
Yes.
I remember for my dad's birthday, when the year it was coming out.
Yeah.
She pre-ordered the
That collector's edition.
So then, in my house, for like the longest time, the Max Payne statue was on our collector shelf.
There you go.
It got a little weird because, like, I think it might have got damaged. So, like,
Yeah.
now Max Payne's got this weird lean.
Oh, okay.
So, like, because to those that don't know, the collector's edition of Max Payne 3 came with a statue
Yes.
of Max Payne, like, reloading his pistols.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it looks like he's walking.
Yeah.
And, like, he's, normal, walking.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like he's doing, like, this weird lean.
Yeah.
It's tilted. It looks cooler tilted, though, being honest.
For me, one of my buddies down in Denver, he got the collector's edition for Spider-Man 2. So he got all 19 inches of Venom. But apparently there was another company that made the statues, and they made a 21-inch version of that statue. But honestly, like, the marketing on that statue, I honestly think they were totally being intentional with the way they marketed that statue.
Speaking of
get all 19 inches of
statues,
Venom.
Bandai has officially revealed what all the details on the Tekken 8 collector's edition statue of Jin.
Oh.
So it's normal Jin, but it's like if he was activating the rage with the wing coming out, but the wing lights up.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Like right now for collector statues of games, I only have one, and that was just the when I got the collector's edition for Last of Us Part 2, because of course it was.
Yeah, of course you would get that.
And the statue, it's just Ellie sitting there playing the guitar.
I really wanted the collector's edition to God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, my same buddy that got the collector's edition of Spider-Man 2 also got the collector's edition of Ragnarok.
So you got Mjolnir.
Yep.
Freaking the dice, the map.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say,
stuff.
like, the only thing that irked me with the collector's edition for Spidey came with the Steelbook case. Cool.
No game.
No disc. Download code. Which is like...
Game companies, quit doing that. Please.
So
it hurts.
This is why it makes no sense. The cost of producing a Steelbook case is way more than the cost of producing a disc.
For real. Give me
Like,
the disc.
the whole point of a Steelbook is to hold a disc.
Let alone the disc for the game I pre-ordered.
Yes, so in that sense, it makes no sense. They're like, oh, cut down on cost. The Steelbook costs way more to produce than the actual disc itself.
Just don't give me the Steelbook then.
Yeah, it's like if y'all want to cut costs, then don't do the Steelbooks. Like this whole trend of doing Steelbooks, which look really cool, because the one for Spidey looked really cool. The one for Starfield looked really cool.
The one for Starfield looked sick.
Yeah.
Let alone you get the watch.
But no physical disc. They're like, oh, here's a code, and it's like, really, guys? Like my collector's edition of Last of Us Part 2, that one still had the disc. Thank the Lord.
Yeah. My dad's collector's edition to the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 came with the disc.
There you go. Yeah, no, I didn't get the collector's. I just got the standard copy of that one.
My dad got the level before, like the ultimate package, which came with Cloud with the motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
That edition sold out day one.
Yeah, I had to, I got lucky with my collector's edition of The Last of Us Part 2. I wanted to get, because there was a tier higher than mine, there was the Ellie edition that came with everything in the collector's edition, plus a vinyl copy of the soundtrack, and a replica of Ellie's backpack from the game. And it had all the little patches and everything sewn on it, and it looked really cool. But that one was I paid $250 for mine, and it was $400 for the Ellie edition. And I was like,
honestly, I love it when games with their ultimate edition, you get a part of like the main outfit of the main character.
Oh yeah,
Like I know Infamous Second Son did that
mhm.
because I believe you would get Nelson's beanie and
Yeah.
his vest.
Like Call of Duty used to be really cool with their collector's
Oh, the night vision
editions.
goggles.
The night vision goggles, the RCXD.
RCXD.
I think Black Ops 3 had the fridge.
Yeah,
The little Juggernog fridge.
yeah, it had the little
Yeah.
Juggernaut fridge.
Yeah, see, like
Now
they're
it's just you get a bunch of stupid in-game stuff.
yeah, like it was like back then. It's like they would do really cool collector's editions,
Yeah,
and
the-
now they
the
don't.
night vision goggles. I remember.
Yeah,
those.
that-
I
and
had
they
a-
actually
I had a-
worked.
I had a buddy who had them.
And it was crazy because they actually worked. You know, they
Yeah.
weren't just toys.
But then,
Yeah.
Activision got lazy, and now they care more about their 100 GB updates.
Oh,
than
jeez.
Than their game
Mhm.
and their fans.
It is more that it is a very very cray thing. You know.
Yes,
But we'll
shots
see how-
fired at Activision.
I mean, right now, that was another big thing that we were talking about. The Activision deal, it did close. You know, they are officially part of Microsoft. However, because of legal and regulatory hurdles, we're not going to see any Activision games hit Game Pass until next year.
That's fair because I know
Mhm.
part of the reason the deal got delayed is because they technically broke the rules with the Bethesda deal.
Yeah, because everybody thought it was going to be a repeat of the Bethesda deal, where the Bethesda deal went through and like 2 hours later, like their whole catalog was on Game Pass.
Yeah, because part of the thing with the Bethesda deal is for a certain amount of time,
Yeah.
their games weren't supposed to be console exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we all know that was a lie.
Yeah,
because Redfall
I was gonna say-
and Starfield.
Yes.
You know,
Like Ghostwire Tokyo was like that weird
we
exception.
don't talk about that game.
one, but that one was backwards because it is a Bethesda game, but it came out on PlayStation first, and then a year later it finally arrived on Xbox.
It's because they already had made that deal with
True.
Sony before the deal.
That is
Same
true.
with Deathloop.
Oh, I totally forgot about Deathloop.
Honestly, the game didn't have that much depth, so I could understand why it's forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
Like the concept is really cool.
Yeah.
The concept to the game itself is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The delivery was kind of mid.
It was. I mean, it was just how to say this. It was kind of an interesting thing. Honestly, I do hope because I mean, now that they're saying that like Elder Scrolls 6 is probably going to be an Xbox exclusive, which, if you ask me, I mean,
Bummer.
that just seems like kind of a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, I mean, sure, you'll move more Xboxes that way. I mean, it kind of happened with Starfield. I mean, I know somebody who kind of bought a Series X so they could play Starfield.
Is his name Josh?
Possibly.
Is he also the host of the Dumpster Fire?
Probably. But anywho's, like, how do I say this? These games have such huge budgets, and in terms of specifications, there's not much difference between a PS5 and a Series X. You know, slight tweaks here and there. You know, you can argue that the Series X GPU is more powerful, yada,
It's
yada,
the
yada.
fridge versus the Wi-Fi router.
Yes. However, how do I say this? There's not much difference between the two systems. So theoretically, like making a version for both wouldn't be the hardest thing in the world, and it's not like they haven't done it before.
They
I
just
mean,
don't
these games
want
have
to.
so much hype around them that, you know, if they want to make their money back, you would think, oh, let's make it available on more platforms.
I think it's funny during the PS4 and the Xbox One's life cycle. I thought the console wars were kind of calming down.
Mhm.
'Cause, we were getting more cross-play games, games launching on all platforms, and then the PS5 and the Series X come out.
Yeah, no, because both Microsoft and Sony are now in just this like arms race to buy studios. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, Xbox, they've shelled out the most money. You know, they bought Activision, they bought Bethesda.
But the delivery on their exclusives kind of suck.
Yeah, it's how do I say this? It's been hit or miss.
Like they have the big companies.
Like, let's
They're not
see,
producing bangers. Though.
like Sony, you know, they bought Insomniac because back then, like when the first Spider-Man game came out, Insomniac was not owned by Sony. They were still like an independent.
They just made PlayStation exclusive titles.
Yeah. Well, with no, they've had a couple of them. Like Sunset Overdrive was actually an Xbox
Yeah,
exclusive.
but like then they
Yeah.
made Ratchet and Clank.
Mm-hmm. But then, you know, later on, it wasn't until after the first Spider-Man was released that Sony decided up and to just buy Insomniac.
Yeah, which
And
is
then,
nice.
yeah, and then the studio that made Returnal, what was it, like House Market or something like that?
I don't remember the name of that.
But
studio.
that studio, same thing. Like a little bit after they released Returnal, they got bought by Sony. Obviously, Bungie was bought by Sony.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Bungie's been with everybody now, if you think about it, because originally, they were Microsoft, and then they spun off. They became independent, and then Sony bought them. So they've been kind of part of both companies.
What's cool is they're more like funded now by Sony instead of like, oh yeah, you
Yeah.
have to make
Like they get more
their
funding,
product
and
exclusive.
if there's one big perk that Bungie still has is that they are still releasing content, across all platforms. So like if you're playing Destiny, it's like, oh, you're still getting all the DLC. It's like still coming on Xbox, still coming on PlayStation.
It's like when the deal finally went through, Destiny actually did like a promotional thing where you can get cosmetics
Yeah.
for each class that made it look like a Sony character. So for the Hunters was Aloy from
From Horizon.
Titans got Kratos.
Of course they
and
did.
The Warlocks got Jin from
Tekken.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, okay. Dang.
And there was a finisher to go with each one.
Oh, there
so
you go.
The Kratos one is like you bring out the Blades of Chaos to do like a cool slam with them. The Horizon one was like you did like a slide and fired your bow. And the Ghost of Tsushima one was kind of lame because you just pull out the blade and do like a straight stab. I'm like, I would have done more like when Jin goes into ghost mode.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just can't wait to see what comes up. Right now, we are hitting the top of the hour, so we will go ahead and let it get back to the music here on the Dumpster Fire, part of AIM Student Radio, the way a radio should be. And welcome back to the Dumpster Fire 4.0, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. I am Josh. I am here with Janice.
Yep.
We are here. It is another hour of this chaotic show that we all love. And let's
Speaking
go.
of chaos. You forgot to check the weather.
I did forget to check the
And
weather, but it
as
is
you
the
were
top
pulling
of the hour, so
And
now's
as
as
you-
good a time as any.
As you were pulling it up, you got another Toyota ad, as you do.
I do. Currently in Fort Lupton, we're looking at 72 degrees with a high, or at 59 degrees with a high of 72, a low of 40. Fair skies, wind gusts of up to 1 mile per hour. Currently in Windsor, we're looking at 55 degrees with a high of 71, a low of 40. Sunny skies, no wind. Currently in Loveland, we're looking at 57 degrees with a high of 71, a low of 40. Fair skies, no wind. And currently on the home campus of Greeley, we are looking at 64 degrees with a high of 71, a low of 40. Sunny skies. Wind gusts of a whopping 4 miles per hour.
So
I
not too hot, not too cold.
I know, but I just double-checked the weather app on my phone for this weekend, and I'm not happy.
For those of you that don't know, it is possible.
There is a possibility of snow this weekend. No!
I hate the snow.
No!
I'm with you, Josh. I don't like the snow.
No!
Don't like it. I hate
Like,
walking
I
in
don't
it,
mind the fall weather. Like, what it is right now, like, I can live with that.
but not the snow.
It's too early. Like, wait until November at least.
Still
I know.
No snowing in spooky season.
I know. It's like, wait for spooky season to pass, and then do it.
No.
Although,
It could snow after Tuesday next week.
yeah, no, after that, then I'm fine. But, if anything, like, if I end up doing any Halloween stuff this weekend, like, obviously Friday, I will be here for the dance.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, plus also, too, since we are in the winding down spooky season, today in the Stuco at 4:30 p.m., we will be showing Coraline.
Food will be provided.
Food will be provided. Come one, come all. It's free to students.
Hosted by Student Gov.
Hosted by your student government, and also it's free. Did we mention it's free?
Same with the dance. It's also free.
It is also free. And I can't talk today. And the dance is brought to you by your lovely Ames Media Production Club. Gee, I wonder who's in there.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of cool person is DJing that.
Yeah, I wonder who's doing that.
He sounds
But I
like he's
can't
the
wait.
host of a very interesting radio show.
Yes. And I honestly just can't wait. Like, I got my costume all geared up and everything, and I got the vest adjusted so everything's going to fit right. And I can't wait for it. The tricky part is going to be, obviously, breathing through a mask for 4 hours.
Yeah, like I said, just for the announcements, try to do the voice if you can.
I'm going to try. But, like, it's a lot easier for me to do the voice with the mask on. Like, the
Yeah.
mask does, like, half the work for
That's
me.
probably how it was for Tom Hardy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be fun. But at least I still have my backup costumes, and those backup costumes have jackets. So in the event that it snows, I'm covered.
Yeah. Luckily, mine is Colorado.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say
Prepared.
that is definitely a Colorado thing where you have to design your Halloween costume around the weather.
Yeah.
Because the last
Do
few
not
years we have
be-
just not been lucky.
Yeah, do not be Ryan Gosling, Ken.
Or actually, if you do the Mojo Dojo Casa House Ken with the fur coat,
Okay, then you'll be
that one
fine.
could actually work.
But if you do like,
If you do like Beach Ken, yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
gonna be freezing. Or if you do I'm just Ken, wow, there's so many variations of Ken.
you might be fine. No, you would still be freezing if you did Alan.
Yeah, no, because Alan wore shorts for the whole movie, so
Unless you're one of those people that when it's cold outside, you still wear shorts.
Godspeed to you all if you do, because I cannot do
You are
that.
built different.
You are built different, such as this Monster Tour water, which I had the sparkling
I'm
water
joking.
last time. This is just the original tour water. The Quick Trip gas station that we have now here in Evans, down Highway 85 and 28th Street. No, 31st Street. My bad.
Get your streets right, Josh.
It is open now. They had the cans there, so of course I had to snag a couple, and by a couple I mean like 6 of them, because it's just who I am.
6 of them, you mean 6 packs of them? I'm joking.
I mean, on Amazon they have 12 packs, and I was like, ooh.
Don't let the intrusive thoughts win, Josh.
I mean, I still have, let's see, 18 cans of the Baja Blast Mountain Dew Energy at home.
Josh,
What?
you have a problem, man.
I might. But anywho's, I'm going to crack this open.
Chug. I'm joking. How's it taste?
Refreshing. Which is actually good, because
flavor-wise, not.
oh, this is literally just regular water.
Ah.
Like, the big thing about it with the Monster Tour water is that Monster Energy used to be one of the big sponsors for the Warp Tour way back in the day. And they would give these to, like, artists and such, before they were getting ready to perform, help them keep hydrated and stuff. So it worked, and it was actually just really good tasting water. So, if
I wonder
anything,
what made them decide to bring it back?
honestly, I think probably just the nostalgia of it. But, I mean, it works. It's selling really well, so, it's worth it for them.
Whatever makes Monster money.
Oh, yeah. And now we will go ahead and let it get back to the music here on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. And welcome back to the Dumpster Fire 4.0, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be.
What am I witnessing?
You are witnessing everything.
I am very confused. I've never seen you do that.
In short, my
But,
brain
I mean,
brain has been short-circuiting as of late.
I mean, there's a first time for everything.
There is a first time for everything. I actually haven't done that kind of intro to the show since we had the original V on here. And it's about to be like a year and a half. We miss you, original V.
If you hear this.
Hi, Patrick.
Patrick, you're everywhere.
Hi, Barbie. Yes, I love
Patrick
it.
with
Patrick
the
Patrick had a Donkey Kong shirt, and I'm like, yes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Because it's for Spirit Week. It
It is for
Pajama
Spirit
Day.
Week. It is Pajama Day.
And
I am
me
not.
and Josh are not wearing pajamas.
No, I am not wearing my pajamas primarily because my pajamas are sweatpants, and I carry a lot of stuff in my pants, and my sweatpants, if I put anything in them, I'm looking like Marky Mark, and y'all don't want to see that. Trust me.
Looking like Marky Mark.
But how do I say this? Marky Mark was actually like
But wasn't
sculpted and muscular,
and the girls liked him.
and the girls liked him, and I'm
You're
like,
the opposite.
yeah, no,
Also,
I'm the opposite
Marky
of
Mark
that.
had hair.
Yes. Although I still love it because now Mark Wahlberg has been an actor for so long that there is a whole generation of kids that don't know that he was Marky Mark. So they'll hear the music and then it's like, oh, you know him. It's like, that's Mark Wahlberg. You're kidding. No, it is literally him.
Shows him the music video.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, like nowadays, since he always has like the beard and everything, like he doesn't have that boyish look that he had when he was in the Marky Mark eras. So it is harder to prove now, but it's like, that is him.
Yeah.
It's like, that guy who sings, that guy who sings Good Vibrations, that is the same guy that was the same guy that's played like every Boston character ever.
Yeah.
Like The Departed, Patriots Day, like every Bostonian character that you can think
Ted.
of. Ted, it's him. You know, or the guy who's, I think I just found a Transformer. Same guy.
Yeah.
Same guy that they thought, oh, let's get him to play Sully in Uncharted.
That was a bad idea.
That was
a horrible idea.
That was a bizarre idea.
Like Tom Holland's Nathan Drake, not a bad idea.
I get that they were trying to go for a young, you know, a prequel to the game, so it was a younger Drake, a younger Sully.
The problem was they mixed the plots of the games into each
They
other.
did kind of blend them because it's like, oh, let's do the plane sequence from 3.
But they're looking for the treasure of 4.
But they're looking for the treasure of 4, and a lot of the plot and a lot of like the story beats that you find out about the characters in the games, you don't even find out half of this stuff until the 4th game anyways.
Yeah, no.
So it's all kind of
but
like
Sully and Drake never met each other.
yeah, so it was, the whole plot was like a mismatch of multiple things from the games.
That movie was a mess.
It was a mess. Like, it definitely had a lot of moments like I enjoyed. Like, the actual action itself was really fun. I will give them that. Like, they did have that Uncharted feel to the action, which is supposed to be, you know, like, obviously it's realistic, but it has its moments that are just like borderline absurd, like the plane sequence, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, it worked. But I think the whole idea where they tried to do like, you know, a really young Drake, but in the context of the story of the games, like most of the stuff, you know, you don't find out until way later on. And in the movie, it's like, oh, we're going to take, you know, 4 games worth of stories and smash them together into one movie. You know, it was like, whoa, okay.
It was a thing.
It was a thing. It was very, very much a thing.
But PlayStation's getting better with the movie.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, Gran Turismo was really good. The Last of Us, I mean, yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, check off your bingo card. There it is. I mentioned The Last of Us on the show
Again.
So there you go. Just cross
Like
that
the
off the
5th
good old
time.
bingo card.
Like the 5th time today.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, we're still getting word that we are still supposed to get a Ghost of Tsushima movie directed by the same guy that did the John Wick movies, so that could be really cool.
I did hear that it is rumored that if the movie is real, that the actor that played Jin in the game...
He has voiced publicly that he wants to play Jin in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which could work.
Yeah, because it's literally...
It's him.
Yeah,
it's him. You know, it's the motion capture and everything.
I also heard that if they release the movie, it will be in Japanese.
Yeah, I did see that it would be like Japanese, and I mean, I hope that they let him go all out with it. I mean, I think it could be really, really cool. Gran Turismo did get a release date finally for the Blu-ray. I think it's coming out in November.
Did you actually go and see that movie?
I did see Gran Turismo.
Was it good?
It was really good. I was pleasantly surprised. Like, how do I say this? There are a lot of little hints throughout, you know, that you only really know about if you played the game. Because there is a portion in the movie, and it's not really a spoiler, where it's like, okay, you're on the team, but now you got to get your licenses. Which, holy smokes, if you played Gran Turismo, you know a thing or two about getting those licenses. So, you know, a lot of it is that, I guess my only, and it's not really a pet peeve, it's more of a nitpick at this point, is that the main game that they used in the movie was Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah, wasn't
like the game that, like, you know, that he's on,
yeah,
which
wasn't the original program with
it was for
5, right?
It was for 5.
Yeah, it was Gran Turismo 5, but they're using 7.
Yeah, they're using, you know, 7, and the guy's got a PS5 and everything, so they kind of brought the story, like, into the present day, but it's like, at the time that it occurred, you know, they were only on Gran Turismo 5 on the PS3.
5 was a good one.
5 was a good one. I was actually watching a retrospective on, like, all of the games, including 7, and 5 was really good, but it was also just very, 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 very long.
Yeah. I do know with the when the movie came out,
Mm-hmm.
they did an update for 7.
Yeah, where you can get the cars.
The livery for
Mhm.
the GTRs.
Yeah, I got them.
To make them look like it's in the movie.
Yeah, I did get them.
Nice.
I did. Yeah, no, for a while they had like the menu on the front changed, and it was just like a banner for the movie.
Yeah.
And then if you watched if you pulled up the game and you watched the trailer directly from the game, it unlocked other things as well. Like you got like a credit bonus, and I think you unlocked his suit, like his racing suit from the movie as well, if I remember correctly.
Cool.
But it was cool. Like it was a cool way to like encourage people to watch the trailer. It's like, oh, you get this free stuff.
Yeah, I also know I think they added like a little event that you can do for the movie.
Yeah. They added a couple of events, and then obviously they had races that were kind of designed around the races that he does in the movie, like at some of the tracks, like Spa and all of those, which obviously makes sense. And then I know that Gran Turismo 7 is supposed to get a big update here soon, because the goal for it now is now that Forza's out, like, and Forza has a ridiculous amount of features, they're trying to make it compete. They haven't released any specific details about what the update includes, but they are trying to compete with what, in terms of like the presentation that Forza does.
Yeah.
Because Forza is absolutely insane, because they managed to get like ray tracing to work while the cars are racing in the game. And there is a little bit of controversy to it, because originally the way that they said it was full ray tracing, which obviously like a Digital Foundry video proved it is not fully ray tracing. Certain parts are ray traced, but not all of it.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of controversy there, but you know, aside, I've played the new Forza. The presentation looks psychotic. I myself, because you can choose to either play it in the, they have the 4K quality mode, which is 30 frames per second, and you get like as much ray tracing as the game can handle, and it looks darn near photorealistic at times. Then they have the performance ray tracing mode, which you get 60 frames per second, and you do get the ray tracing, but it drops the frame rate. Or it drops the resolution of the game, so it can keep hitting that 60 target. And then they have just the regular quality mode, where it takes the ray tracing off and it'll push it to 60 frames a second, and it holds it pretty well. I know a lot of people are always hitting like for the 60 FPS, especially in a racing game, but I'm okay with it being 30 when I play it, just because from a visual standpoint, it looks darn near photorealistic at times. It is crazy.
Yeah. So like with feature wise, I can see how Forza competes. Gameplay wise, I still say Gran Turismo. It's hard to compete against.
It is very hard to compete against. However, with this Forza game, they really went back and reworked the handling for a lot of the cars. Because with Forza, you had kind of a bad habit going where a lot of the cars, for the most part, felt kind of the same. Like there would be minor changes between all of the cars, regardless of what you were driving. But in this new one, they really fine-tuned the handling of the cars, and they added a new physics system. So the cars behave a lot more like how you would expect that car to behave in Gran Turismo. Okay. Like if that car's underpowered, you know, it's going to be underpowered.
I mean, Gran Turismo earned the title, the real-life driving
simulator. Yeah, no, they really did. For this game, they really did push, like... Because originally, like, when Forza came out, at first, they were like, oh, we have better graphics than Gran Turismo. And they would get kind of close with the driving on Gran Turismo, but Gran Turismo would always surpass them. And with this game, they finally came, like, really close. Like, there's a lot of similarities between how you drive in both games. Mm-hmm. And it is really cool. Obviously, Forza, the new Forza, they still have some bugs and stuff that they're still working on ironing out. You know, here's to hoping that they get all that cleared up soon. But it's like, for me, obviously being a big fan of racing games, it's just been a blast.
Yeah. Honestly, right now, the track games are doing a lot better than the street racing games. Need for Speed, I'm talking about you.
Oh, yeah.
Because every update, they rework the cars,
mm-hmm.
and they don't put it in the patch notes.
Yeah.
So you got to retune your vehicle, because I had a killer R35 Skyline, and to where like it like hit corners nasty, and the car could drift.
Oh, there you go.
And after an update, the car started fishtailing anytime I tried to turn the car.
Oh no.
So I couldn't hit the drifts. The car's acceleration decreased, and I checked the patch notes, and nothing about that specific car were in them.
Certainly. However, looks like we are coming now up to the end of the show. This boy has got a soul training session to go to, and then we will be back in Ed Beatty at 1:00 for the actual media club meeting. We have the general discussion, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
True.
But we do all thank you so much for listening. We will be Whoa, excuse me there. We will be back. More chaos, more dumpster fire, much wow. This was a dumpster fire, and you were all warned.
Yes, sir.